这心里可惜。
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Today we will do just the teaching part and skip the Q&A because this is technically, I believe, Geshe Chetter's last day of responsibility, and there's a little more things to be done. Okay. And we also want to thank him, we in the sense GSTDL, for his service here, and I believe there will be cake for everyone, and so I think so that'll take a little bit of time. So. Namo Guru Be Namo Bidaya Namo Dharamaya Namo Sangaya Namo Guru Be Namo Bidaya Namo Dharamaya Namo Sangaya Namo Guru Namo Bidaya Namo Dharma Namo Sangha Ayo Kande Loi Je Gui Je Doi Ga Rai Ga Ai Jo Zai Bo Je Jo Ze Che Je Je Bo Che Je Lo Zan Da Se Da Je Ne De Je Zo Zo De Je Lan Ga Se De Be De De Se Ze La Ma Ge Be Zon Ga Je La Lo De Be So Yo Na Jian Zhong Dian Ba Ye Je Ge Ya Zhou Zong Zong Xie Je Zheng Guen Zha Be Lo Ge Zai Na Be Ge Yo Le Je Zong Ta Be Be Ye Ba Me Ze Be Go To De Let's cultivate the altruistic motivation, seeking complete enlightenment for the benefit of all other sentient beings. And with that kind of motivation, all of us should participate in this Lamrim discourse, discourse on the stages of the path leading to enlightenment by Manjushri Lama Tsongkhapa. Allow me to read about a couple of pages from this Lamrim Chemo, volume number 2 in the English translation of Lamrim Chemo, to give you the blessing of lineage oral transmission, followed by explanations. So we are on page 205 under the subheading C, based on the elimination of unfavorable conditions and accumulation of favorable conditions, being intent on joyously persevering. So those who have a Kindle, I think I was asked to read the subtitles. It's a couple of pages somewhere. But those who have a book, we are on page 205.
Lao gobe gulu don ke lang ne la na ke lang ne la na ni mi ke lang ne ma la na ni shen xiao da ni mu la da ra da lu te ye te ba ka je ko ro 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 ko di men zi pa ra je de da be sem che to je de na le te lan ju bi ngun du Comme de bengo de gone le seme ge wala ko de merome ni merong ye sena ta je do ne be sha de ye wala la wala da wa yang wa sha de je ne je je ne le jong bu de tam je we la ne te de be de ra pa yu le da tam te 당연 상황에 와자시 소대 따라 비비 존주시 더 이부시 저저저나 신배당 이제 신배 된다마 팔로와 저와도 솔로와 롱게 저신데 롱게 벨리스 Disneyla, Lusimla, Gewala, Tobi, Toshuji, Onjurashi, Tiji, Sobashiva, Zundri, Batrova. In la Diganama Tene, Sosa, Sota, Jibetella, Dodova, Jet, Lung, Dova, Shimbe, Onjuro. Onjoa, Tiji, Toy, Onjura, Tibet, and Dova, Jurashi. Tetabu namaja chaka yang do murung ke bego de pende maguji kaje le ne maji bara komo ni ga me to je dile ni tilye ni la ma se bo chu yu zo le para pe she so de se shida jawa ne zo de ga zo ya nang bara chong den de sha wa shi lu dong zhou go de Zondru jiba jimba ne rang ge zondru ye jimba ne rang de la ne shen de la ba gu ba yin la lang ma na nga re xie ba xie no nga ba de ga tong de wa ne je de ji ju chang ju yi se me ju so chen jing wu gong ba ne sen ju me dan ju zondru lang gu be tong de la ba la gu xi yin be we ti xie we de tong xing ge tian ne sa tongbu zongzhu ji zonglu namo mongbe yu de we shi zhong la le tangbo yu zongzhu la lablu namo la yang nipa tang tuni be nipa tang tuni tang chebar de tong ma be zongzhu ji bangzha xiongpa na likpa rang gopa tang tabja shangzhu tang che de we shaba simche tang ye de du zhuwa jing te sewa tang tu xie rungwa Sota yaba ka jeba dewa me wala zho yuwe hoje zhundru sambi chungpa lani we ten zhao yuwe samba shen duwe lapshin wa jeba zanji yuwe sonama lapshin lapche wa soba wa laksang kushiyo ba le sumbi beba cha te te ta maji nama rigi neba ten me jeshi nye ju tume jang jun dewe kwe la tsara shen dewa shangsi je chewa la laba la she kawan jera shen te tabu nam bara shiva te tabu na te tabu nama she bara she dewe she dawa she nyang so ma long jang lu ti cho so song ni che ne be zondru hu zondru zang ne ni la zang shiva ni song ba tar jewa shen dewe tsik chung ru du nge me bara nyoro dewe zondru ye bara sheba zoba sheba sumbi sherobo samde ji bara sheba la wala nga samde ngo te goma jebe tawa samde je raba ye raba sheba sheba teta ke tong do tangbo la me ba ga shen dewa me wa dewe seme ze je ba ge wa de shang sa le sim chang chu zen bebe de nu te wa tong sa wa ngo de Doi shangzhuwa seba na jibe jikden de dama jikden liwen de semze je ba gesin la ne ba shini ji sho sho za lang dong ji sho song du je wa re ju be la tie ji ge sho gang yin ba de ne chang de ne shangzhu seba na ma je sam dian ji ngo ni de re ba xiao xie dang zhu zhu le zhang de da zhong zhi jian ne yi ne ding zin le xiao jie su ta xun zhong zheng han zi di kar sa zhong zhu pa zhi la ya de rwa zhong zhu pa zhi la ya de da gan zhi zhong zhu pa zhi la ya dan dor de de na de re rwa tang bo ene kar sa da mo be top se ya ji ni pa tem be to ne xi ba de ni ga ye top se ne kar sa 손랑이다 온주도 해야 돼. 너다가 너도는 되게 간지 당보 되게 집으시는 데 와시나. 간지 간라 모바스는 단 듬바스는 찍어야. 지난 다 통화한테 대바도 원도 대바도 숨으세요. 단데 듬바스 해야 돼. 지kar사 원도 대바스 해야 돼 봐. 간지 다 집이 중요해나 애들 렌데를 이시에 telom도 시 집을 등에는 탈배 준를 놈도 집이 셴보에는 특별 셴불 준를 삼는 거 같아. 간지 telom도 비 듬바이 왔대 뭐베 톱스. 다 대베 당보고 조에서 뭐 딱바시는 약보셔고 그랬어야 돼. 땜이 톱스야 돼. 기소소시. 다 되네 땜이 톱시. 다 되네 가르 가요 톱스야 돼 봐. 가요 봉스야 돼. 가요 봉스야 돼. 다 단다들 이시로 약보 유나. 이네 가르사 그게 love nyams leon de sa in be serna she de sa ne me wal ga shi to shi ni jog ba shi ngoro wa de kan ji ji ya go res o ti che ga bom ti tan che ta de ne le to se de in be nyam ne do ya go re on de sa na in ka le shi da ja mo ko kol sol lang ba se ati ji si wa ro de che ta de ne ni zong ju ya bo chin ta na kaza lelo da zong ju ni bi da pe tam sing so che ni da zong ju ye be ka de ang ju to se ai to o de che o ti go ni ta zong ju zong da de da o ti zong ju zong da di zo de na de xin na do wa da o ti sam lo te ta ni en zong ju zong yo zong gu de es ta ta da zu dor de di karsa tene jin sare.
So Geshe read from page 205 to page 210, and he stopped under the caption, what meditative stabilization is. It's the next chapter. So we are back to where we left off last week. And so this is under the caption of subpoint C, based on the elimination of unfavorable conditions and accumulation of favorable conditions, being intent on joyously persevering. So what Geshe just explained is this, that we have been dealing with the perfection of joyous perseverance, or jundu, joyous effort, sometimes we translate it as. And so we have talked about how we cultivate joyous perseverance by way of cultivating what is known as the four powers, or four types of power. And the first one is the power of aspiration, and the second one is the power of steadfastness, and the third one is the power of joy, and the fourth one is the power of relinquishment. And so the power of aspiration means that we really have to develop the interest, in whatever the subject matter is, or whatever the goals that we are pursuing. As Geshe explained, that in the case of practitioners of small scope or initial level practitioners, they study about a law of karmic action and results, and develop conviction in this law. Their goal is to be able to achieve a good higher rebirth in their next life. And so they develop that power of aspiration in terms of achieving good higher rebirth, higher status in the next life. In the case of practitioners of intermediate scope or middling scope, their interest is to find liberation from samsara or nirvana. And so with that as their goal, they develop the power of aspiration, connecting to that, and then study the law of karmic action and results, especially pertaining to their practice, what must be done to get out of the samsara and what keeps you in samsara, all of that. And then in the case of advanced level practitioners, those who have inclination for interested in the bodhisattva's way of life, so their goal is seeking complete enlightenment for the sake of everybody. And again, they study and contemplate the law of karmic actions, results in general, and in particular pertaining to the bodhisattva's practices. So by way of cultivating power of aspirations, they're able to develop joyous perseverance in whatever practice and goal they're seeking. And the other one is the power of steadfastness, or firmness. And as I explained this before, that before we start any kind of practice, we should take time to investigate, everything, and find out, whether this is what I should be practicing, where I should start. So once we begin our practice, then we should stick to it, and complete our practice or whatever their stage of practice is, so that we don't have the habit of starting one and dropping the ball in the middle and then switching our hearts and change of the heart some of the middle of the thing. That's not a good habit. So that's what we talked about. And then the next is the power of joy, and this is the joy arises in our heart and mind when we develop a conviction in the effectiveness of the practice and in the infallibility of law of karmic actions and results. So with that conviction, that helps us to, experience its joy in any practice we do. So when we have a joy in what we do, so we don't feel obligated, we don't feel, being required to do something or imposed upon us to do something because we just like it. That's what we want to do. And that kind of joy helps us to cultivate and further our joyous perseverance. And then the last one is the power of relinquishment. This is where, as we talked about before, that as we're applying antidotes to obstacles, let's say laziness, at the moment maybe laziness has the upper hand, we get defeated by the laziness, But as we cultivate the joyous perseverance, and if we know when to use the power of rest, when we should, replenish our depleted energy and then, carry out a practice. So with that kind of time, we will be able to, get at a stage where now the joyous perseverance takes over a laziness. In other words, joyous perseverance has the upper hand, and now the laziness is down, 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 down. And that's comes through the power of relinquishment.
that Shiva losing little soon only you of the thing. Pavili Shiva Simji Labjala, love Shazunjala, love Gulu, the Kelan, the Malan, Yimik Shindy Shaw, the Yumu Jarta Luta. Tis a Kajil, Kodi Menzibar, Yendi Tavia, Simji Top years. Jidunam le, tell Juba Mundu, Gomni, Lusu Givala, go Murumit, 10 times in Doni. Shansin Juba Lobala, Dama Yama, Chadis, Jadi, Jini, Lijungurune, Tamji Landi, Tuyoba, Teda Bayu Tam Tente, Danin Dama Yama, she so said, Hajita. Don't you tell me in the Carson Warson that they go. The only you don't say the Carson, that the Juju Pavili Sheva Kanji goes on Pay by Shannon, and the way Tinsha Teacher, what do you then in the chances of love like Pig, Love the Payunta, Malam and Yimik, what do you get that dog you daughter, what do you ganga something? Then you move, but they pick a call Toma Meva, so gang in the chair, what do you move need to take a chair. In the tea, the Kaji could mean that today begin. Don't do something, Giovanni Shia and the Kazakale, you would have watched the what is that? Kale Kaze and the Kale to get the pig that tails on the court Minziva. Kale the Jesga, you would be Kokabra, she was raised until you go on any tissue. Yen the day same to dog you do namless, she had what it namless, tell a jubo on those gomnes, losem. That is losing the all good 10 times in doorness, Shansi Java Lava and Dawayama. Chatis, that did it. What I to get the part door in the Shansi Pig, Java, Java, Logo, to look big Shansi, deliver to say to Naya, Telia, Pashima, Meva Shanti Pig, Kazan Dawayama, and Dirawa. Because the Lamsan, young Chito and Maria, and Dawayama, and this is what I can't. Cutting out the milk, the young boy says, Your Lega Lamsala, she took it your Kaji to a Lega Cassette and million so day she did. But the coach would see her out. And now I ask it is a tell me, Ganan of Shin Jugatil, Naya, what is your grace? Tishiga that Junju delivered that 10 Lizumuni, Tamil and 2 years did to the Payu, Tam Gente, Dain Daya Chas, or tell that the Kong of the Junju did. What is it?
So Geshe gave explanation on what you find at the bottom of page 205 over to 206. under the caption, How to Use Joyous Perseverance to Make the Mind and Body Serviceable. So the explanation given is this, that we need to, as we follow the Bodhisattva's steps or the way of life, we need to cultivate consciousness. The Tibetan term is called paryo. We should be conscious of the actions of our body, speech, and mind, what we are doing physically, saying verbally, and thinking mentally, right? Be conscious of our actions of body, speech, and mind. And so when we remain conscious in that way, then we are able to be aware of afflictive emotions arising within our mind, we understand that. And also we're able to do this kind of thinking, that for all this time in samsara, you, meaning the afflictive emotions, have really caused so much trouble, right, for me, and caused so much misery. So now I'm not going to let you do that to me anymore. I understand that cultivating joyous perseverance is not necessarily going to be easy and smooth ride. It will have a lot of challenges, but be it. I'm up to the challenge, and I'm going to face the challenge joyously and happily. So that's the kind of mindset we cultivate. And so when we do that, by the power of the mind training in the footstep of bodhisattvas, we will be able to reach a stage where we can see that how bodhisattvas, even for eons and eons, they really don't get disheartened. They are able to remain strong and advance in their practices, and we will also be able to do the same thing, cultivating that kind of mindset through bodhisattva trainings. And so when we reach certain level where these things happen naturally, then we always find ourselves very delighted to engage in the practice. It's like, the Tibetan proverbs, I should not translate those things literally because that will be weird. But the meaning is we feel very light and delighted to engage in any kind of practice. Like we are very swift to rise up, not like we got a heavy kind of a hind, and we don't want to get up. So we're just very perky and very active in terms of engaging in practice, and so you have the sense of delight in doing our practice. And this is how we started to see that our mind and body are becoming more functional, serviceable, in the sense that our body and mind are not sluggish and yagadi, but it's happy to engage in practice.
대단 매배 존리 제답이 제와 시장이 신비인 남아파는 좋아도 설레와 롱기 안지와 신 랑르선을 개월 저 쇼기 안joki 디지지 세번 존리 버터 투바인라 디제는 되는 소탐지 데라도 저바제데 세달로는 좋아도 오늘 신비인 연구와 디진 저 안jo데 대단은 저바지 셰소스 데다 건제 다 존주비게 존주 바진 람니 로베 체르 데레도 어디 데레 라비는 간데 존주비게 로베 체르 가레스는 세월다 고승구 제와베 개발 가든 중나 아니 신베 남알롱고 예와다 까지 양슈 저거 간지 비게 개회쇼 심 때바 좀 람상 비 따다 줘서 봐 시슈다 아니 로니 민데바 데레미 빠나 신베긴 담아세데 따디바레데 신베들 집에데 와셔도 롱톡 지는 거나 람사 캐로야 말데 걸 비긴 지고데 디아제요 말와 어제다 신베 담아나 신베 예외쇼 로프게 요아잠 로토 용거리 쓰와 랑 리스는 겨토 쇼기 어디 오냐데 가르세나 근데 존주 비게 쇼시볼랍니 아니 존주 되게 가르사 라베 페용데 리로님이 토니 인텔로 쪼기 셔보여서 어디 줘네 애니 겨알 주도한테 같이 매와시네 애니 어디 리버도와 용거여레스 어스러와 다티 가르사 어디 용거레스 다 대께는 되는 소담지 대다 줘봐 줘데스 이러와 지 존주디에는 가지 연대 말도 존주지 시슬라브와 셔 제도 이슬라드다 존주디에는 소조바 강가요 말스 어디 이러와 시다 chita lung nin doa tang unye xingbe angje wa zhe zhe angje de teta nin doa ji xie so se xie tang jire wa chita lung nin doa tang se lung ka ji用那这个拍兔子这么新别了弄起来手上的我嘛是吧？可是这个兔子这么这个，但浪上过也古叫家头就我得用过这些，这个这样就的是都给我这样那个看啥，考的嘛是严的这叫我的学严的上这些，这当然那这边就是我这这就手上因种就的那这边这些是啥的。
So we're in the middle of page 206, where a question has been asked, what form will the joyous perseverance produced by such efforts take? So in other words, how does this joyous perseverance or chundu, joyous effort, how does it work? If we have it, so to speak, right? So as we train our mind in cultivating the perfection of joyous perseverance or chundu, when we succeed in cultivating this quality, then we find ourselves very naturally being attracted to and drawn towards doing positive and virtuous thing, and it's almost like effortless, And the example given here in the text is, when a wind blows, a piece of cotton is easily blown away by the wind, right? It doesn't take much of an effort for the wind to blow a piece of cotton. It just can take it everywhere. So like that, when we have cultivated the joyous perseverance, as soon as we direct our mind into our practice of something, it just, easily, very effortlessly engages in the path and practice. And that, as a matter of fact, is the criterion by which we can say, I got it, And we say, how do I know I got it? Well, here's the answer. How you know you got it or not is that if your mind can effortlessly and joyously, as soon as you direct your mind into a positive action or a practice, it just naturally, effortlessly engages in it. That means you got it, So to get there, as Geshe explained, that we have to do a lot of contemplation, and which means we have to think about all the problems associated with different types of laziness, and all the benefits that we could gain from cultivating a joyous perseverance. And through such contemplations, we cultivate the 4 types of power, and through that we cultivate the joyous perseverance. Once we have it, then everything almost becomes possible. Means we are able to succeed in accumulating merit and wisdom very fast. And as Geshe quoted from his memory, Lama Tsongkhapa said elsewhere that all the qualities and realizations, they just follow the joyous perseverance. If you have it, then you are able to have many other wonderful qualities and succeed in gaining the realizations. And so which means once we have this quality called joyous perseverance, then we will not be overcome by different types of laziness, such as the laziness of procrastination. I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll do it someday. Not that kind of laziness will bother us.
Da teta nam shaka yang da do de murunge be go de pende maguji kaji len ma ji ba khomba ka me tab che tele ni la ma sik ba che zundu le bar pel she so sa da dire da khond he wa na jire zundu za ba la en be kangi ma wo shen be ke shego wa wa che da kale ma wo yo de che na ni kangi do se ne ni be ke shagyo ma ris 그래서 다들 그 갈리 잔인데 주부세미 저디어 와셔다 가 먼저 배나 지лен디 레가에나 총데 아니 신가로 가리는 주부세미 저모도 있어서 거지 갈리 가자잖아 뭐잖아 다다들이 아니 소소디 저디 잡이나 주부세미 저 인자 인텔이야 배고그레스 다디 배고비 주젠데 바데 마구게 개월다버세 인사로 까지 레는 마지바 고번이가 몇없지 디지제는 이 마세요 최기 존을 레버 벨 세다 제월 되세요로 제월다 비 troubleshooting in Russia. This is good. You troubleshooting because Kazata was a Thomas, Kaji Lane, my Jibas, Commanding a of chase. She had a Lam Lover, Kaji is chain logs and then Sanji Song your essay. She had any Kaji machine, Tetoma. She had a Chono Beta, Lam Yams Land, Picadodus and the Kange the essay. In a Kange Masiba. And don't do what some race or dinner remodel, nothing inside.
So we're still in the middle of page 206. There is a stanza quoted from Matichita's praise in 150 verses. And as Geshe explained, that it is worthwhile for us to make efforts and face challenges, put up with challenges to cultivate this quality called joyous perseverance. And because all our efforts will yield a positive outcome. That is guaranteed here. As we talked about this before, that in the case of mundane affairs of life, we invest so much time and hope in many other things, but there is no guarantee, right? Maybe we could be doing business. Farmers hope they will have a bumper crop. Well, not necessarily, monsoon fails and you're goofed, A business fails and you're goofed, But still, we put so much faith and, invest so much time in all of those, right? We don't give up, because, it's going. But in the case of cultivating joyous perseverance, all our efforts are worthwhile. It will produce positive outcome, and that should give us the inspiration and confidence to do that. So here, Matichita, in the Geshe explanation, maybe this advice to a local Indian king, I suppose, that maybe the king, wants to live a very easy life, kind of royal life, and then, still wants to be free from samsara and all kinds of things. So the Matichita tells king, but there's no such thing as, being free from samsara or, just, not making the necessary effort. Buddha himself made it clear that spiritual journey is not necessarily going to be, smooth and, flying, because there will be a lot of challenges and obstacles, but we are willing to face the challenges and obstacles and persist, in our path, and that's what will lead to success. And so the Matichita is telling the king that, Your Highness, if you really want to be free from samsara, or you want to be Buddha, whatever your goals are, it really requires persistent effort and joyous effort. It's not going to come just, not doing your part. So let me see, did I miss anything here? As in the course says, the sublime state, difficult to reach, is not attained without hardship, and encore. So this is what it is, Our spiritual attainments is all contingent upon the fact that we are going to put in our effort and persist,
Oh, that driven the church on the Zundu Council, Tambatun the shower, the Chindu down, Jawa, Logo, the Zundu Jimani, Rang Telene, Shen Telam go about Yinla, Langman Nam Sheva Shenos, that is Zundu Zundu in the Dagman of Gombe, Yana Chanju some Gunga in the country, contact Caps because Zundu Nyamling, Katakari Nyamling, Tell ya Shendag, Simbo, Shindu Gange Nyamling, Simata. In Tambatung, they say, I think that Tambatung said, Dota King could hear, take on J. Don't you know, share with Simba, correct you Tamba, Moa Tamba, the Tamba Mambo Jorova, or Kanji Kana tell ya, but don't you know, we don't eat Jamba Goma, many by Shanju, same die, and it be sincere to Mambo, big same machine, and it goes. That tell ya Shenda Carson. Zundu Jimba said Carson, there is so Zundu Zom in the Shenya, Zundu Payon Head, in the Zundu Mengetula, in Lojong Zundu Godos, and the Zundu Jimbares. In the Shenda did that Zundu say, did my Lela or Teres or that.
toward the bottom of page 206 under the caption D, how to practice. So it is stated that whatever is our practice, maybe we are meditating on selflessness or emptiness, or maybe we are cultivating bodhicitta. Whatever our practice is, that requires joyous perseverance or tsundu. Yeah? But when we say it requires joyous perseverance, it doesn't mean we just need this and nothing else at all. It must be, it must integrate all other perfections, as we say. We practice all other perfections within each perfection. And also there's a term called, in association with the 6 supremacies, the Tibetan term, those who are looking for Tibetan, what is called Tambatukden. Which is explained in the Mahayana Sutra, Alankara, or ornament of Mahayana Sutras, such as, one of the supremacies is related to the dedication, a supreme dedication and so forth. So when we practice, whatever our practice is, it must be done joyfully, and then it must be augmented by all other perfections. It's not like, okay, I'm doing nothing but tsundu, okay, don't tell me anything. No. We have to do a comprehensive, integrated practice here, So then we say, okay, then just give me one example about how the perfection of generosity is linked to the joyous perseverance. Well, the answer is here, that you yourself cultivate the joyous perseverance, and then you encourage and inspire other people to cultivate it. So that's called generosity. When you inspire and encourage other people to cultivate joyous perseverance, that is the generosity of the joyous perseverance or related to that, and so forth. So it's important, as Geshe said, that we really need to learn how we need to integrate so many other practices in each of our practices. Like we can't say, well, I don't want anything else, just emptiness. Okay, that's my cup of coffee. Don't tell me anything else. Well, you need to cultivate bodhicitta goes with your cup of coffee of emptiness here. You just can't isolate them. And so it's very important for us to always think about the integrated approach that we need to adopt in our practice.
This because mangar hewa henu da kan zondu tada jimba se ati kan any rangi zondu len hen zondu ne wa de sta langma ngar hen se ati langma te de wa da zondu sen zondu ko zomba lo se wa de zondu se wa da karza de zondu se da de karza zondu zomba la any pe meso mewa del da zondu se ba segmento da ini lelo da zondu be yonde da any jong shea ge sherap de any zondu sherap sigo ro de she den samden ro da del ya nyanglen zondu be karza tenshi go ni be langdol jugwe cha no del be del any zondu ge samden sigo ris sheda da sheda chawse be lo ju sheda paji jing nyam na de paji chog nyam len go se ya jo ro o di thona de tiang res.
So Bodhisattva's way of life or practice includes practicing all other perfections within each perfection. And so in the case of the perfection of joyous perseverance, we already talked about how generosity is linked to it, that you cultivate the joyous perseverance enthusiastically. That enthusiasm part is your, again, what we call the tsundu of the tsundu. Which is very weird to say in English, but it's that your joyous perseverance of the joyous perseverance kind of thing, and then you encourage and inspire other people to cultivate it. That's like being generous of it, right? You're encouraging it. That's your generosity. So when you're cultivating this practice, you think about all the problems associated with laziness and all the benefits of cultivating this quality. This is where you integrate the perfection of wisdom, right? The wisdom helps you to discriminate among, right, wrong, and good and bad, all of that. And then when you, bring mindfulness and introspection into your practice so that you can stay focused in your practice. So that is the perfection of concentration, meditative stabilization linked with the joyous effort. So this is how, within each perfection, we can combine all other practices. This is how it becomes a very comprehensive, integrative, and effective practice.
So ngaba ta don de ni jebe de shangju sim jesu tian ju gomba ni simje dan ju zong ju lung ge tong ju lo ba la gu xie yin be ti qi ber de是动性天的sa tong bu zong ju zong na me we de xie de zhong la le dang be zong ju la la lu nam la yang ne ba dang dun be ne ba de be ne ba dang dun ne 배바다 체바도 tumu mai be zongju ye bangja shumbano le ngoba tang topja shangju da ti che de cha simje ta ji je ji ene de du de sewa tang ti che rong tang so ta ye ba ka ji ba de me wa le zoi ko je zongju chombe zongju sanbe chomba la ni tendawe is saba hindu lab chawa ba jeba zamji sonum labo che karsa sonum lab chawa soba se za lo chawa la sang shu ba wale songbe se be ba cha des ta dere gaje tige ganga ta yongya de karsa na dingma de ninji shenbu de top shenbu she ninji shenbu top shenbu ye na ene ti gwe xiaoju se top shenbu ye wa 다 xiaoju top shenbu simye ta de dongye cha de ene sanji ko ma tom de di yo yin za da di top de za da jeba la mala ka me xiager wa jeda di chindu ganga lo ji gu ji de xiaoju sem xiager ye wa wa o ji da xiaoju se ya gu ji na zong zhe zang ge de xie de da ge jin ba dang ge de ge ge ji kan da ja 심지 탐지에도 되네 사지 공모토야 성도에도 사지 공모토를 가르고 보고 있는 뒤에 강가 누구로 와 지다디 정식쌤도 약보주는 어디 NP게 강가 귀신 좀 데레스 제다디 공부에도 동거레스 자디 깔리 가셔도 들어왔다 그지 어디 동거레스 와죠 제바데 투모마이베 존류지 방자 쇼만나 리과는 거바 당스 때문에 다 제당 방제 개발지 저 투모마이베 존류지 방자 쇼바서 존류 님을 레로다 들어와 쇼바도 어떤 거 봤다 톱자 정주도 샤와드 탐지 내도 세주 줘봤던 뒤로만 소 사이에 가지 받으면 저 존주 좀 줘봐 대대신다 뒤ring보다 애니 가서 흉적하고 대대신 애니 비게 심지에 내도 줘야 돼도 대대신 애니 비게 정주쌤 흉셔보 유나 인테강 거 용거레스 대 용사 대 과자도 듣다 배 심지에 돈들라 가서 맨하게 와지던 여가 세야도 없이 가드자는 거 어디 또 없이 뭐 주나 애니 사발라셔 인데 애니 코제와장 배 손음빵미 랍시 뭐 조도 거레스 저다 간저 데려와 가서 상지 거부터 좀 탐지세 요데 탐지 로고서 애네 뒷배 육 하고 싶으시니 그게 패시 로토야 말에 삼성 저지 소저티 소지 때는 샤우즈스 숙셔보이네 소상당 될 때는 샤우즈스 숙셔보지 그배 시부 소 랍진 사르고 봐 심지에 장단냐면 소사고 봐 세다 도즈 리반도 땅배는 세다 상 그게 유럽 가나라 돕토야게 인포바지 레그로 어디 인식을
So Geshe-la's explanation pertains to the summary that you see at the bottom of page 206 and over 207. But before I translate the explanation given, I left something from the previous explanation that is, pertaining to the perfection of joyous perseverance when we willingly put up with all kinds of challenges and difficulties. So that's the perfection of patience, right? That's associated with a joyous effort. So what we find in the summary, the bottom line is this, that if we make every effort and face the challenges and difficulties to cultivate bodhicitta, the altruistic mind of enlightenment, right? Then everything really becomes quite possible, with that. The power of bodhicitta will inspire and augment all other practices. So this is where initially, and at the moment, maybe we find it a lot of difficulties. As Geshe explained, that in order to have a powerful bodhicitta, the altruistic mind of enlightenment, or bodhisattva's mind of the heart, we have to cultivate very powerful, great compassion, right? Great compassion gives rise to the bodhicitta, or the mind of enlightenment. And so with the mind of enlightenment, when we have it, then we naturally become attracted to find complete enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings. We really mean it. This is what we see that I must be striving for and seeking. So when we have that kind of a strong mindset, I want to become Buddha for the sentient beings, then it's nothing but natural that we find the need to engage in bodhisattva actions, because actions will bring results, right? Without actions, nothing works. So now we said, okay, I need to engage in the 6 perfections of bodhisattvas. And when we do that, by the power of a strong bodhicitta, that it becomes easy for us to practice all other perfections, whether it's the perfection of generosity or the perfection of enthusiastic perseverance and so forth. So here, as it is stated, that we really need to put on the armor of patience and enthusiastic perseverance to be able to cultivate bodhicitta. When we have a powerful bodhicitta, then everything else becomes possible. When we think about our ultimate goal, Buddhahood and enlightenment, the way it is defined is that it is a state which is free of all kinds of negativities and defilements and limitations, but endowed with all kinds of qualities and realizations, right? Then we feel like, wow, that must require, right, so much effort, right, to accomplish it, which is true. And that must sometimes dishearten, like, oh my gosh, how can it, I can do it, But on the other hand, if we make every effort to cultivate bodhicitta very powerfully, then everything becomes kind of possible. With bodhicitta, even a little bit of like a positive action we do, and it becomes greatly meritorious action. Because as we said, that bodhicitta merit becomes limitless. It is equal to the infinite number of sentient beings. So therefore, the merit required to become Buddha becomes easier to be accumulated with the power of bodhicitta. So bodhicitta is the answer, to our, to our aspiration and to our to inspire us. Let me see. Yeah, that's it.
대단대 책지 저는 비지 휴야 리에서 저 존주 되라 다살 통보인데 존주에서 라 냠을내야데 매배 유디시 스타트 소스 레 통보데 소스 빠서 가자케서 중군도 대제 사모다도 뭐지야 병과도 강하다서 빌랍샤디에서 통보건 비게 현황 좀 고구마리라고 강제다 저 단다소 톱즈시 인사 통보가 냠을내야 되게 매배 유디시데 디쇼서인데 약본도 컨섬시데 다 공개나 있는데 이래도 그래서 단다콘이야 텔리야 로야고 이 매바시에니 애는 소도 카도 냠내야 돼. 다 소도 로이 네바티니 가지 냠내야 돼. 랭고레스. 디시고레스. 다 드시도 당도 디시워다. 고도 강라도 예도 동도 말아디. 시당 가서 다다 정식 심정어서 동련 검사야 되게 자요라 와. 드시시나 애는 간좀 장네 간좀 거의 속이야네 그게 욕을 떠받게 그 편도 해야 되고 와. 어디 배사디 공부도 되성도 그래서 셴벨라라 투메 장시 디 삼바다도 샤스 칸 삼바티에와 텐디 주스 셰다 셴펠페야 삼로디 간데다 피지 마셔 뭐가 이시셔야 되게 편야도 여도 영어로 셰다 또 지금 네바도 영어 셰나 디 공부레세 디 공나 엔 간소리데 레와죠레세 어째서 나 거기 간소 롭종 가르치는 당보 현도 그스 요마와 당보 마긴 로는 근데 현은 거와 어디 지 봐라 셰다다 디 처음도 그 계속 피하자요 말이야도 어디래 강도다 서주생 비게 동련다보다 현은 파펜도가 그게 mik반도 지야 뭐 보여 어디게 시해나 로컴니야 펜토레스 어디서 거
So we're still on page 207, and so what is stated here is this, that we also have to be realistic in the sense that whatever we're able to cultivate now, that's what we should focus on do. but all other things at a higher level, so to speak, right? That requires a much greater joyous perseverance. At least we should set for the motivation that may I be able to do that, soon. Don't just give it up, right? But don't try to mimic. Oh, actually, not a mimic. Don't. How should I say, short circuit everything and jump over there because we are not ready. That's not going to work. It's a high level practice. But at the same time, don't think, well, that's high level practice. I can't do it. At least set up the motivation that may I be able to do that, sooner or later kind of thing. Set up the motivation and do what is necessary, what we could practice. And as we improve our ability, right, and our own conditions, then we will be able to do much more, and this is the way to go forward. And as Geshe quoted, passage by Arya Nagarjuna, and which basically states that at the moment when we cultivate beneficial thought for others, it seems like it doesn't make any difference in others' life, isn't it? We just wish others to be happy. We just kind of, but it doesn't seem to. But we cultivate this state of mind, wishing others to be happy. So when we develop more and more familiarity with this mindset, we could reach a stage where, these minds become so powerful, and also our improved ability by then that we are able to literally help others, So don't kind of dispense that at the moment when we are training our mind. We do a lot of kind of wishful thinking and visualizations, right? People think, so what's the fun of visualizing this and visualizing that? But you're not going to do anything, right? But don't dispense it. This is how we train our mind, right? We develop the beneficial mindset to help others, but as we develop more intimacy with this kind of mindset and we become the habit of that, and our abilities get improved, then when we are in a real situation where we can do it, the mind is ready, it says do it, and we are able to do it, then we will be able to make the difference, So this is why it's very important for us to train our mind through a gradual process. And as earlier Geshe said, that once we have a powerful bodhicitta, then it doesn't matter how long we have to be, it takes for us to work for sentient beings, as it is stated, I think this is what I missed again. Now I remember I got my note here. I said puja. What is that? In the Guru Puja, as we know, there is a stanza which says, even for the sake of one sentient being, if I need to stay in the fire of the Avicii hell, hundreds of eons, right? May I never be let down by the compassion. And, may I be able to do that, right? This is how we cultivate the courage and the strong mindset. This is where we are right now. We are just training our mind. Yes, we are not able to do much for others, right? If we think kindly of each other, it really doesn't do anything per se at the moment. But cultivating that mindset is very important because that prepares us. When we can, then we are not to back off. We are ready, right? So this is very important part of our practice.
This is Peter Machina, Ricky never, Ricky never, then making you to make a good call, Sarah the Shansi Jewel, Loba Sheko and joking, Tetabu, number sheet, Katetabu, Num, Shever Shady, Shida, Yanzu Malon Jang, Loyalty Short Sony, Jimmy between Zamna, Lasangi, Shuba. Ne songba tar jewa xin du sik chung dungui mebar nyo du zongri yi fa xin ba zobar xeba songbi xero se wa di da xie zang dinde xin dan da ngone chang sang be ya bo ji sim jin pen do ngo xia du ji nyang le yang ta ba zhe me xi da de ja yong mo de ngone chang sang de sam in de gang de da cha xi ge da de ja yo ma sa xia xia wi na lo chung ma xi na se go ro in do ro ni de ni je de me pa be Bani. Any be Jul that Lokaya be Shibukali Kabo Jugures. Rewatak so the be Lomanina, Tita Shiva Shen be that came with Geshe Jeva Live Payon da Malabi Nimik of Shani. In the Lana Yagoya, the lawyer teach us on the Sido. She tell her that Konipa Pangver is in a Kariagas. Geshe Jeva Lava Yagre, the Hasi Lilos de Java Yagre said, Elava Yagre said that 디카스지 그게 세면 뽑아지 깨고 그래서 거다.
so.
디제에서는 이 사사시 그래. 대시에서는 이 조를 그게 로에 네바세야디 해다 방사做什么吧现在刚从这这的그게 방사 강가 야지 세운데 잖아 에 조보 이게 또배 롱도 세야지 근데 람산 베게 양 또바 통보래야도 어디 연구해서 거다.
So as Geshe explained that if we don't try at all right now, because we think that what is the fun of right thinking, cultivating this compassion, everything else. At the end of the day, it's not really literally benefiting anybody, right? At the moment, even if we don't have the real thing, and we do that. So that's no point of doing this. But if we follow that kind of a mind trend, right, mindset, then we will never be able to progress in our spirituality. And as a matter of fact, things will get worse and worse. We become more deluded, and more degenerated, and everything is going, down the tubes. There's not going to be improvement, But on the other hand, we just being honest to ourselves that, okay, I cannot practice everything being said. And there are many other things at different levels, right? That's true. But at least I would like to try it, right? I would like to, let's say I'm given a choice between, following the Bodhisattva's way of doing things or not doing it, right? So what are the benefits of following Bodhisattva's way of life? And what are the demerits or the downside of not following them, right? So we are intelligent people. At least we can know that it's more beneficial to follow as much as we can, although we can't do exactly like them, but there's more benefit. So at least, be on the right side of the history, so to speak. Well, that's not the right side of the things, even if we can't do it much, be on the right side, but when we try it, it's really interesting how positive imprints get deposited on our mind. But someday, when the causes and conditions assemble together, these positive imprints get activated, and things you think will never happen, like you become highly realized in almost like a moment. Then you think, what happened? Because all these things you have done, the positive imprints, deposited on your mind, something triggers them, activates them, and you have a fast improvement. You're like, whoa, what happened to me now, right? So this is only possible when we make effort and try to do the things we could now, and then hope to do more, in the future. So that's the right mindset and way to go. Don't give up because, thinking good thoughts is not literally benefiting others at the moment,
我这他看见我可是我这他看见我这他激动改造这些呢，这个在人们呢这一个呢这同步处理的新个嘛是吧？我偏他要么吧，人们现在同步处理的人当有不这头嘛是吧？啥俺人们这个是这新闻是连夜能搞现下去用嘛是吧？这个是那看出这人当用给这个。因为说是这个菜地到后头是很多用给这个新个是吧？这个几把几个是吧？我就晓得，但那边你们都是那现在系统就完了，现在的深度的结果了，偏不当时的吧？现在谈到我是不了解的个，这不是超用个嘛的，你这啥的，咱俺这老些的啥的，那公外头叫这个些呀偏的，这些的吧，其实也这些是，干这么多这些个是。教什么人这没多就长大了呀，你每个地方给这放下地方这个嘛是的，老人大户的是。现在刚刚放下现在这个是送的啊，但马到那里大，兄弟的我是兄弟的要不是，马到大放下现在你过东面这个嘛是过住不了我的是吧？
As spiritual practitioners, we should be realistic in the sense that, we have to start things very small, and then we have to go slowly, and we get better and better, right? That's in the law of nature with anything you say, right? Somebody who wants to be artist, in the beginning you are a clueless person. Even if somebody asks you to draw something, really what you draw doesn't look like an art at all. It looks like nothing, no value, nothing. There's nothing to appreciate even, like it's just what the thing you wrote. But then you practice it, now start to become a little better, right? And then down the line you become a very famous artist, and now your work, it costs like millions of dollars. Like then what happened, the changes. So in the same way, as practitioners, we have to start small and always set a strong motivation to move forward. That's an important part of it. Don't easily give up. And Geshe said, I recall saying this a few times before, and I would like to do the same thing. What the great Kadamba Geshes have got to tell us, The great Kadamba Geshes, they tell us that in terms of abiding by the ethics of abandoning 10 negativities, we must do it, right? Don't just think of cultivating some good imprints on the mind and I'll do it next time. No, this is the crux of the matter. If we want to have a good rebirth in the future, we have to do it, right? But all other things, practices, even if you couldn't do it, don't worry too much. Accumulate more positive imprints on your mind, and down the line, as you have better rebirth, you could still pursue your practice. So all other practices, we could accumulate a lot of positive imprints on the mind. But in the case of abandoning the 10 negative actions of body, speech, and mind, that's a basic fundamental thing, and we must do it. Otherwise, there's no hope for even good rebirth in the future. So, okay, so we will stop there today, and we will do dedication. And I think Geshe said that I sneaked out. Probably he will sneak in with something. I'm just all guessing here. So before we do that, I want to make an announcement about Friday, November 10th, is a very auspicious day according to the Tibetan lunar calendar. It is called Habab Dujin, or Buddha's descent from the Tushita Buddha field. And so everybody is welcome for the evening Tsok offering, feast offering in the sense you can bring fruits and things like that, and we bless them, we do some prayers together, we distribute among ourselves. So that's called a Tsok offering. So you're welcome. It will be at 7:30. And then I have also been told to inform you that Friday they'll keep the Gomba this time open for anybody. If you have the day off or something, you want to dedicate your practice here all day, it'll open the door at 9, so you can come here and do short meditation and go home, or do the whole day meditation, whatever you want. So we will have an open door policy on the special day. Okay, let's do dedication. Okay, Kange Londe, Dimye, Jinde, Ninda, Nanda, Rasebe,
Shinye Tongu, Shije, Zije, Nije, Toga, Levonze, Kanda, Sebe, Zara, Mare, Mendon, Dongen, Yese, Rodo, Gola, Boje, Da, Eyela, Doje, Yanden, Zon, Roda, Shedo, Nyemo, Nyelo, Leje, Shado, Mare, Meze, Dongen, Yogo, Shinye, Jeze, Redena, Dene, Daje, Saje, Tazo, Yonden, Lenzo, Jeze. Juda, Juda, Junin, Jende, Dalu, Meze, Jambe, Yangla,
Omara Baza Nandi, Senden,
Jeje, Kera, Weze, Dalu, Demo, Mamba, Kada, Denje, Shunglu, Toba, Lode, Bove, Nawa, Zedo,
So, Lord
Yazu,
Yazu,
Uzo,
Udon,
Bega,
Bega,
Gesan,
Gesan,
Pome,
Pome,
Chudu,
Chudu,
Mimba,
Mimba,
Demba,
Demba,
Zela,
Zemla,
Ondo,
Wando, Jicho,
Ichube,
Tanyen,
Sajun,
Chubin,
Shala,
So on the page 21, obeisance to my Guru and protector Manjushri, who holds at his heart a scriptural text, symbolic of his seeing all things as they are, whose intelligence shines forth as the sun, unclouded by delusions or traces of ignorance, who teaches in 60 ways with the loving compassion of Father for his only Son, all creatures caught in the prison of samsara, confused in the darkness of their ignorance, overwhelmed by their suffering. You whose dragon thunder-like proclamation of Dharma arouses us from the stupor of our delusions and free us from the iron chains of our karma, who wields the sword of wisdom, hewing down suffering wherever sprouts appear, clearing away the darkness of ignorance. You have been pure from the beginning, who have completed the stages achieving the highest perfection of a bodhisattva, whose princely body is adorned with 112 marks of a Buddha, I bow down to you, Manjushri, Om Arabhaja Nadi, O compassionate one, with the brilliance of your wisdom, illuminate the darkness enclosing my mind, enlighten my intelligence and wisdom, so that I may gain insight into Buddha's words and the texts that explain them. 31. Like the sweet perfume of white lotus, born in the ocean of knowledge, nourishing honeybees, the fortunate being, your fame pervades all directions. You are proficient and powerful in upholding the precious doctrine. To you, O Lobsang Tenzin Wangda, respectfully I pray. Thượng Thiên Ngài bác ngài kính thưa hôn. So, I think Geshe Seda would like to have a few words, and I believe maybe Doran, you too, right? On behalf of GSTDL. Just for your information, I think next week we will start with the perfections of meditative stabilization. Okay, page, on number page 29. And now,
당에 적동 국자 가서 예동 주도 다와 당고 세바 진짜 주집에 세바 띵네 예동 주도 진짜 주베 세동 소주베 로고 지기들의 대표님 주위인
I would like to inform you the sort of accounting from the November 1st, 2016 to October 31st, 2017.
예동 주도 진짜 주집에 세지기 라기 의미디 뭐 범직당 독직 som동 숨제 주도다 땡어 중하고
Okay, so on the November 1st, 2016, in our accounts, we had $163,316.59.
예동 주도를 주도 지단 중앙들라 범직당 취미 예동 국자 명하다
In the 2016, all kinds of donations put together, we had $104,905.28. And the donations we have collected from the donation boxes there, the total amount was $20,640, no cent. And the monks doing pujas, all the pujas they have done together, the total amount was $13,847, no cents. And then the publication has $180, no cents. I see, it's called iCup or something. Okay, so Buddha knows, but iCup, $180. I think from another account they transfer this amount into this account. I don't know this and this account, but this is how it is. By the way, my footnote, I usually don't translate money matters like this. I'm just getting out of my own commitment here. So that amount was $62,216, no cent. Okay. So all the what called the income, so to speak, put together is that so $364,104.87. So that's all the amounts income and
expenditure.
So there's a monthly chart, where it comes and goes, that thing, chart here. I call it comes and goes chart here. And so the spending part is $254,486.03. So that was spent, and now you subtract the spend amount from the income amount. Now the balance right now we have in the account is $110,618.84. Not done, so we still have more. When Geshe Lawson sued him, the previous, what we call this managing director, he gave me, this much amount, 500, $55,547.13. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I received from Los Angeles, and I added this much new amount here, and which is $55,071.71. So that's why we have in the account $110,618.84. So basically, he made money here, huh? That's good. You are hired. I'm fired and he's hired. That's all it is. So, okay, so I'll read this. The balance amount we just announced is in our corporate account, which is $110,618.84. The bookstore account has $21,941.08. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama's account, I believe, $5,029.09. Our sponsorship fund account has $10,850.44. So those are the 4 accounts we have. So we have accountant in Merrill Lynch, and he said he just only has so far up to the October. He did not get the November, so coming soon near you, I guess. So what we have there, this is the September 30th, 2017. The amount we have is $1,704,730.03. And then there's the project account, that has $536,995 no cent. His Holiness account has $109,382.43. Okay. Oh, archives. That's what he was saying. Archives. No. Archives has $22,028.24. So the total amount of all the things we just said is $23,731,000. What? 2 million, that's what it said right there. 2 million, hey, we could be rich. $2,373,135.60. Everything's pencils, I don't know, God knows what it is, okay. So Geshe Lawson Sweden gave me, okay, Buddha bless me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 212,000. Oh, no, that didn't work. Boom. Yes.
2.1 million.
$2,121,509 no cent. Now the balance is the balance we have is the amount he added, not the balance. See, that's why we get all this. He added to the thing $251,626.60.
Thank you, Geshe.
And so this is my kind of brief accounting, and of course I appreciate many of you have helped to do this because I alone couldn't have done it, so I don't take the credit, I just inform you, and I really want to thank everybody who helped me to do this, accounting and work. And Geshe wants to thank very much our resident Geshe, Venerable Phuntsok Gyeltsen, and your translator Tenzin Dorji for making my life easy for the last 4 years, and everything he said went well because of 2 of us. So. Although I don't think so, but at this point I don't mind buttering me up, but. So during my 4 years here, Ajatashi and Lobsang Rabje is her husband. They have been very kind to drive me around, whenever I need a ride. And so Lobsang Rabje come up, and he wants to thank them with the Kada and the Buddha statue. Yeah. Oh, guys, yeah. No, sir. I think a cake will appear out of the emptiness on that table, I believe. It's still in the emptiness. So he said, well, that cake is really, he wants it to thank all of you, and please enjoy the cake. Will come soon on the table, I think. And now maybe I think Dorin La would like to say a few words. Dorin La would do that. I want him to stay. See, I can be big boss today because I'm working hard here. See. Okay, he forgot one thing, I guess. He forgot one of the most important things on this accounting. Our resident Geshe Phuntsok Gyeltsen has, gave me $9,242 and no cent. Whatever offerings went to Geshe, he gave it to here.
Thank you.
And then Geshe Setter himself has, put in $2,036 no cent. And Rosa Gyeltsen 6 months is $813 no cent. Thubden Gyeltsen for the last 6 months $1,079 no cent. And Geshe Phuntsok Namgye for the last 6 months, $952 no cent. 952, yeah. Lungri Gyeltsen for the last 6 months is $1,003 no cent, and so right. So those are what the monks earned, and put back everything. So okay, Doran, the floor is yours.
I was asked by the board, and so Yen and Carlos are here from the board. I'd like them to come up with me to give our respects and kind words to Geshe Center for helping make our job so easy. Being board members in a center such as this is not easy, and being the center director, managing director, is the most difficult job that there is, running a Buddhist center like we are. And on our words here, we want to really appreciate how Geshe Center has been a great example for us to show exactly what it is that the Geshe Phuntsok Gyeltsen is teaching us in terms of perseverance, enthusiasm, and kindness, and always being happy, and always being grateful to everybody that's here that helps, our center be thriving in the Buddha Dharma. And that's what I wanted to say, but I know that there's a lot more of things that would be said, that could be said. And I know Geshe Center does not like, the 8 worldly dharmas to be mentioned, but we have lots of praise, and lots of good things to say about Geshe. But I just wanted to say those things.
Yeah.
Geshe Center is actually for the last couple of years. I mean, he's my I consider him my managing director guru. Because of his leadership, I've learned also, how to be, patient, kind, generous, disciplined. I mean, he's definitely done a lot for this center, and again, not just as a director, but also just as a person, really. So it's been really a wonderful experience, and we're going to miss him. So thank you. Yeah, thank you.
That there is again Phuntsok that the law because the manzo chozo the genjing again Phuntsok again. Chen de de parolia the gengi de when a tane ki tapa sungshun na kadi chumsta in srova manzolia. Na tangane si Geshe sada lagi ta lo shina le pemase kule chen srova. Na Phuntsok the chale che Phuntsok lega de le rob shung srova and Geshe ya thoche na shuguye sa and Carlos kenen Geshe because they Jingyong Chigo Mare, Geshe Zane, Ponale, Lobjang Mango Rajon, Daji, Carso, Sibenium, Nechawa, in Nerwage, and then the Manguchons, and the Tochen, Shugu, and Geshe, and the Chedak, that they may do Galiang and the Chen Shu is. And there's the cake, so it appeared out of emptiness. And that'll be China Choman. Okay, so Geshe said that cake is for everybody here, so he would like one of the board members to kindly, how do we say it? I can say initiate, but cut the cakes and, distribute, and maybe first one to a little piece to His Holiness, and maybe to Geshe, and then. So now I'm going to embarrass Geshe said a little bit. I think I should, because he make me do the things I don't want to do usually. So it's a fair game. I think I play a fair game when usually I only translate Dharma. I don't get involved in administration. I have a good reason why, but I'm not good with the money. That's why I always remain poor. But I choose to remain poor. But when it comes to like million, I don't know, 2 million or 23 million looks the same to me. So that's that. I wish we have 23 million rather than 2 million, but hey. And Geshe Seda really, I come to know him that back in the monastic university, he worked very hard for years and years. So he has earned a lot of merit and credit, And they sent a very, I think, efficient manager here. And of course, everything ends, and he has to go back. And now we have another efficient Geshe here, Geshe Phuntsok. And So I just, on my own behalf, want to embarrass him and give him a small offering. That's what I want to do. Yeah, Geshe to chen dong wo men shi shi ron.
Also, I don't know if I wasn't listening to what Tenzin Dorje was saying, but I apologize if I repeat something here, but just something came to mind that I didn't know if you're all aware of. And when Thupten Dar Gyaltseng formed and when His Holiness came here in 1979 and bestowed the name of Thupten Dar Gyaltseng to Geshe Gyeltsen for his center here, that we became recognized as Thupten Dar Gyaltseng. And then in 1984, when His Holiness came here for his first really teachings that we helped sponsor, although we did work hard in 1979 for His Holiness's visit. But the formal visit that we had in 1984, Geshe Setter at that time was the English secretary for Ganden Sharse Monastery in 1983. And so a lot of the correspondence and things that came about from Thupten Dar Gyaltseng to the Ganden Sharse Monastery, Geshe Setter was always involved and knowledgeable and aware of everything that we've always done. So, in a Western way, we say a lot of times that, if our Father or Geshe was up in heaven, looking down at us right now, he'd be smiling a lot at what Geshe Setter has done for us. And I just kind of wanted to add that in because, Geshe passed on this center to Ganden Sharse Thupten Dar Gyaltseng, part of the monastery. And we're following the monastery's wishes, Geshe-la's wishes, and I think that if we had our Western perspective of how our Father would be looking down upon us right now and smiling, Geshe would be doing that. Of course, he's here now with us as a young boy, so he's probably smiling, but he doesn't maybe know exactly what we're talking about. Anyway, I'm enough.
Okay, so Geshe would like before we give the cake, could we take a picture? He said he would like to have a souvenir, so everybody kind of become a Brady Bunch here. I think now he disappeared. It's hard to, as you can see, tame the Tibetans. This is how it is. He'll tell me something and then he disappears. Okay, so everybody, could you please be kind enough to line up here and take a picture with Geshe so that